Okay, folks, welcome to today's live broadcast. There will be a full HD version of this available after the broadcast. Right now I'm sending you all standard definition due to bandwidth issues. I've got better internet than I used to have, but unfortunately, my backup internet connection is really still bad. And unfortunately, the main internet connection I have here is currently giving me some issues. So for now, I figured I wanted to do it anyway. I've been wanting to do a live stream in here for a while, so I just decided to go ahead and do it tonight. And again, we'll give you the full quality version later, but hopefully y'all can still follow along with this low quality, low bit rate standard definition broadcast. Today we're going to be mostly hanging out. I'm going to go over some stuff I've been doing in DaVinci Resolve, kind of different things like that. Going to go over a little bit of some Linux stuff that I've been doing, and we'll be doing all of that. So let's get right on into it. So here you can see this is my Linux system, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to, I just now realized I actually had a typo in this project name. Let's fix that real quick, because that should say ProRes. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. Though this is a new video that's going to be coming out. Several of these are in the pipeline. Also, I will be monitoring the live chat, so if you do want to at some point check out everything, then you can do that. But let's take a look here. So this is the, let's see here. Did I ever, yeah, I never cut this completely, did I? Yeah, look, there's my claps right there. So you can see, yep, there I am. See, I'm clapping. And when I do that, wow, what a great, I always pause on an interesting freeze frame. I mean, just look at that. Just look at that. Isn't that, oh dears, I tell you, that is an interesting freeze frame, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Give me just a minute here while I oh my goodness. That's that's a great freeze frame, everybody. That's a great freeze frame. Anyway. So, but regardless of that, we can exit out of that, and what we can do here is we can trim this down a little bit. So, which I'm noticing that right now you all are probably not hearing the sound very well. I'm going to fix that. Give me just a minute here. We'll be right back. All right. Now we should be able to hear it through some speakers I've got here. I'm doing pretty simple stuff. I could have sent it through the audio console, but then I wouldn't have a way to hear it easy.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Open Source. Hi everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight.
It was a little loud
Vincent
there.
Here.
Sorry about that to headphone
Hi
people.
everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Vincent here. And today I wanted to talk...
So, I mean, as you can see, I got my... Oh. Cut to the screen.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Open Source. Hi.
So, I mean, you can see right here, if I... actually, here, I'll mute this now. But you can see that I clap like a million times, and that seems like it's in good sync. So, I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, hold on. Did it do... Okay. Is this not a... Oh, I bet we were going to multicam this. Yeah, that's what we were going to do. Okay, so let me... Bear with me here for a minute, because what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set up a multicam. And you all can see how I do it. So, the way I'm doing it. Multicam clip. So I'm going to do a line by waveform. Usually this picks it up pretty good, and then we can just listen and actually view playback to confirm. Let's see.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Open Source. Hi everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight.
Okay. I think that right there is good enough. So we actually do not need... We only need one of the audio clips in here for sync purposes. So I'm actually gonna get rid of the other one. I'm going to link all these back together. And I generally like to cut the beginning out like this. There we go.
All
right, and there you can see now that's what it looks like. And now I'm going to come up here to my timeline. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to click convert to a multicam. And considering I only have one of these, what I just call it, instead of timeline 1 or whatever it's coming off of, I just call it multicam. And then I go and I will create a new timeline. Okay, and then I can just put it in here. And there it is. And you can see I have got both of my... Why is this not playing?
tonight.
Okay, well, that's supposed to be playing. I don't know. Oh, that's why. Now it's playing. So I'm going to drop my resolution down. Yeah, it still stutters for a second there, but that's fine. I can still sync with it. Now we're going to actually grab my mic audio. This is the Zoom audio. I'm going to go ahead and try syncing it. And it seems like for whatever the reason, I can never seem to do this with multicams. Someone at DaVinci or Blackmagic Design, if you could just give me some insight. Okay, so I think I can just do this by hand anyway. I normally do, as you might have noticed. So I'm going to look for
recorder going.
My clap here.
Get the camera going. We're going to wait for this car to drive by.
And yes, I do talk to myself while recording. All right, that's where we want to start. So everything before that is just stuff we don't need. And then let's bring these waveforms up a little bit too. And I'm going to just get it kind of in the ballpark. And then I actually think I might have, yep, almost perfect frame accurate. It's off by, what, maybe a frame? Something like that, yeah. Now if we turn both tracks on, it should sound pretty clean. Yeah, it sounds pretty clean. All right. So let's check out our sync here.
Hi, everybody.
Awesome. That's what I want. We won't need any of this anymore. Okay. And there we go. And so now I have actually got...
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Open Source.
Okay, so I can actually cut these real quick. But first, I want to actually go back and fix something that's driving me nuts in the multicam. So you might notice if I full screen this, this is actually 2:1 video, as you can see there. And 2:1 for the aspect ratio. The reason that's, you know, a big deal is because that with 2:1, what happens is you got black bars at the bottom and the top. Now that's not actually encoded, that's actually just the image frame. What we're actually doing is we're sending YouTube just the 2:1 image, and then they will generate the black bars on your device for you during playback. But because that we're doing it that way, basically what it comes down to is, that because we're doing it that way, we are going to be able to adjust our image here, and need to actually adjust our image of the top line here. So I should have done this earlier, but I always forget it until right now. So I'm going to just come up here and just kind of carefully tweak it. There we go. And see, now we've got our image the way I want in there. And if we play it back now in the multicam, you can see that it matches. So I can now go ahead and start cutting. So first things first, let's cut the beginning off and, you know, kind of get this where it needs to be. So
hi, everybody, and welcome to Open Source. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Vincent here. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Vincent here. And today I wanted to...
All right, so that's the one we're keeping. So we'll get rid of the rest of them. Oh. Okay.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight.
Okay. Oh. Almost forgot. You should always set it to that for me, because I just want an image. It's not cutting sound anyway, because of the way I got this set up, but still. So now what we're going to do... is once we've got that set up the way I want to where that we've actually got my playback of the beginning, we're going to go ahead and just start chopping it up. So here we go.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Vincent here. And today I wanted to talk to you about something I find quite interesting. What is that? The fact that you can record ProRes and DNx HD video in not DaVinci Resolve. Oops, blooper. Hi everyone, and welcome to...
Now, when it's a blooper, if I decide I want to actually make bloopers at the end of the video, which I haven't been doing that the last few videos, I just haven't had as many. But I'm going to show you what I do anyway, so...
What is that? The fact that you can record ProRes and DNx HD video in not DaVinci Resolve. Oops, blooper.
Okay.
Vincent here. And today I wanted to talk to you about something I find quite interesting. What is that? The fact that you can record
Okay, so I'm going to actually start our endpoint here.
Blooper.
Okay, and there's our blooper. And then I'll go ahead and right-click on this, convert in and out to a compound clip, and then I will call it blooper 1 and 2, and you get the idea. Once I've done that, I just do Alt-X, and voila, or Command-X if I'm on Mac OS, and that will clear my in and out points. And then I can come in here and cut this out. I actually usually don't edit with the keyboard as much. I normally edit with the DaVinci Resolve Speed Editor a lot more. And I also cut my intro.
What is that? The fact that you can record...
Oh, I bet we're going to do the intro again, though, too, knowing me.
Hi, everyone, and welcome...
I do. Awesome. Should have just left it there.
Hi, everyone, and welcome...
Let's tighten the beginning of this up a little bit. I didn't mean to...
Hi, everyone.
Well, actually, we may untighten it a little bit, because I have got a thing against... Well, unfortunately, when I make a mistake, sometimes I don't close my mouth. Honestly, it doesn't matter unless you, like, pause the very beginning of the video. But...
Hi, everyone.
I guess we'll just go ahead, considering it's there no matter what. I'd rather not have as much dead air, so we'll just...
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, see, look at that.
Hi, everyone.
Basically, instantly, we got our audio, so...
Talk to you about is the fact that... and DNx HD, if you want. So let's go ahead and go check it out. In my case, we're going to be demoing ProRes.
Okay, and that is where I would go ahead, and I would cut... Oh, well, phooey. That was not what I meant to do. Okay, that's what I meant to do. I used the wrong keyboard shortcut there. So
record ProRes and DNx HD if you want. So let's go ahead and go check it out. In my case, we're going to be demoing ProRes.
Now, we're actually going to go ahead and do a little bit of a cheat here. You notice that OBS is open, and I haven't actually got what I want to show basically yet. Well, don't worry. I'm actually going to just cut part of that out. All right, so let's do that. So this right here.
Demoing ProRes.
All right, great. Let's do a cut right here. Again, normally I use the speed editor, and I do a lot more of this with the speed editor, like this cut right here would be quicker.
All right, so I'm going to go...
Oh, actually, I just now realized something. Duh, we're demoing OBS. It's supposed to be the thing on the screen. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I messed that one up, didn't I? All right, anyway, we're going to go ahead, and we're actually going to leave that. What do you think about that? So instead, we're actually going to just do a cut. And just like that, I have cut to the desktop.
All right, so I'm going to go open OBS. As you can see here, it's already open. And I'm going to hit record, or not record, I'm going to hit settings. It's already recording. I'm going to go to output, recording up here. Oh, I almost forgot. You need to change this output mode to advanced up here. I can't change it because I'm actually using this to record.
Just another one of those ideas that I probably should have thought about. I was recording it with OBS, trying to demo this, so...
We hit record, and then you can see here I have a directory called screen recordings. Come look at that. If you can look at that, we can actually see that right now we've actually got the screen recording we're recording right now. Okay? And we can see here I've got my audio encoder set down here to signed integer 24-bit. All right. And a little Indian. And then I've got my video bit right here. I don't actually think it uses this, so I just leave it off. But
fun fact, I still don't know if it uses that. I don't think so, but I haven't been able to prove that. I'm probably just looking in the wrong places, and I got to admit I haven't really researched it thoroughly. So if somebody in the comments has an answer to that, feel free to let me know. We can put it in the final video edit.
It might actually. I'm not 100% sure. Kind of just been playing around with this the last few days, so I gotta say I'm not fully sure if I know how I'm doing this yet, but I figured I'd share it with you anyway. So for your video encoder, you're gonna scroll around until you find ProRes AW or ProRes KS with the underscore between them. Personally, for me, I'm using the AW, but you know, you could probably use the KS as well. I don't really think that that would be a problem. But anyway, I'm using AW, and I've actually been playing with the command line as well, and so that's why I've been using it here, and it seems to work for me. So once we got all that done, we're good to go as far as I can tell. I can just hit OK, and now I can, of course, start recording. But, of course, we're already doing that, so I'd stop the recording. But anyway, it's pretty much that easy, and then you can open it up in anything that supports ProRes. In my case, I'm opening up in DaVinci Resolve. It gives me very, very good screen recording quality that I can then use for these videos. Well, everybody, thanks for watching Open Source.
All right, so we can go ahead and do a cut there. Okay, yeah, I'm just pausing for a minute to see what is the, I don't know. To me, it looks like that there's something wrong with the video output from my switcher. Maybe not, I don't know. It feels like it might be to me. I guess not, actually. I don't know, I guess it's probably fine. Anyway, I hope the video looks fine. But what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna come back out here and look at this. So, what I'm really looking for is when I turn my head back, and that's when I'll do a cut.
Start recording.
Right about here.
But of course, we're already doing that, so I'd stop the recording. But anyway, it's pretty much that easy, and then you can open it up in anything that supports ProRes. In my case, I'm opening up in DaVinci Resolve. It gives me very, very good screen recording quality.
Of course, what we're using right now is DaVinci Resolve, so yeah.
That I can then use for these videos. Well, everybody, thanks for watching Open Source tonight. Hope you found today's information useful and informative. And until next time, goodbye, everybody.
And that is like the most minimal edited video there is. So I like to cut when my hand is still up. So we're going to find a good frame to stop at. Let's go right here. I think this is a good frame. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and do a cut here. And actually, this time I do want to cut the audio too. So, because I didn't link them, I can just do that. All right, so we are pretty well done with the multicam. I mean, it's a pretty simple video if y'all ain't picked up on this yet. So we can rewind back to the beginning and double check it, but I think I've got the general idea of what I want. And I've already set up my colors, my color grade here. And that is actually done in this case, it's going to be done in my multicam. So if I open my multicam and we hide this clip so we can get to the grade, this is what we got. So now I'm going to kind of scrutinize this a little bit. I'm going to go back to full resolution. Oops. Oh, we didn't cut at the beginning, did we? Yep. Okay, that's a problem. So there, we'll stop at this frame. And what I'm trying to see here, that was me saving right there. You've seen pop up real quick. I just did a Control S. I'm pretty paranoid about something breaking and losing the edit, so I generally try to save every 30 seconds. But let's see here. We've definitely got something interesting here. So as far as a color grade, I'm thinking with my scopes, yeah, so we've got, looks like it's just a little bit of noise. We don't need a lot of noise reduction. I generally really despise video noise, for those that don't know. So I generally want it to be a very clean image. So somebody might say this amount of noise is acceptable on the scopes and just leave it. Somebody isn't me, though. I'm definitely going to try and work on this. All right. There, I didn't mean to open my terminal. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to come in here. And I find, this is the nice thing about using the same settings over and over, I find that this is generally what looks good to me as far as reduction goes in my studio environment. So this is before on the scopes and after. And if we full screen it, probably still won't be able to see the noise because it's pretty fine detail. You can see a little bit right through here potentially if it's, I highly doubt it on the live stream, might in the recording, but anyway. Regardless of that, I have cleaned it up. So now what I want to do next is, I want to go ahead, now that I've got this kind of generalized idea.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight.
going to go back. I got to switch that multicam to have the back. And I just now realized something too. The multicam, the clapping was in the multicam, and I forgot about that. So that's fine because, you know, the beginning of the video is actually here.
Hi, everyone.
And you can see I actually just start the video. So that's what we want. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go down here to my power bins, and you can see I've got a couple things in here. And one of the things that I've got in here is the familiar copyright ending. So if we drag this in here, this is how I put the end on.
Everybody.
And action.
Doesn't that just sound familiar? I think it does. And I'm going to put the copyright text on next. I'm sure you all recognize this. Again, this is, you know, I've set this stuff up to be automated. And I'm going to do a 12-second fade. That's what I like to do. Sometimes I end up not doing it, either forgetting or just thinking that it would look better if it just instantly comes on. But generally, I like to fade it in.
Thanks for watching Open Source Tonight. Hope you found today's information useful and informative. And until next time, goodbye, everybody.
And if you notice here, if I mute the sound, you'll notice if I frame by frame this, the copyright text goes off, and then instantly we are on our next screen. And that's what we want. All right. So now that I've got this done, what am I going to do next? Well, next I like to do the sound mix, and that's really the end of the process because we've got a color grade in, we've got our edit in pretty much, but the sound mix I find is a really important part. So let's go ahead and start that. And just like the other things, I've kind of got a process. So let's go take a look at the process. So the first things first, I'm going to look at my audio waveforms here a little better. And here we can go ahead and change this track to mono real quick, because that's all we need.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight.
And you can see it's going out both channels the same. Again, for my voice, it was recorded mono anyway. And so we will feed YouTube stereo, but in this specific case, there's literally nothing, but YouTube wants stereo, so we give them stereo anyway. So there's a couple things I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to go ahead and come in, and I'm going to tweak this a little bit. I'm thinking we may go, I don't think we need an expander on this, so let me try doing some compression.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Today, what I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that OBS Studio can record ProRes and DNx HD if you want. So let's go ahead and go check it out. In my case, we're going to be demoing ProRes.
Okay. You know, I'm thinking we might actually want an expander on there, and we can kind of tweak this to taste on top of this.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Today, what I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that OBS Studio can record ProRes and DNx HD if you want. So let's go ahead and go check it out. In my case, we're going to be demoing ProRes.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put our hold up.
All right, so I'm going to go open.
All right, and I think that's going to sound pretty good. And I said expander, but I really meant a gate in this case. So
ProRes and DNx HD if you want. So let's go ahead and go check it out. In my case, we're going to be demoing ProRes. All right, so I'm going to go.
So the biggest reason that I am actually using a gate is because I want to try and cut out some of the room when I'm not talking. My computer in particular, and you can probably hear it right now because I don't have a gate or an expander on my audio if I recall for the feed for this program, you can actually hear my computer in the background. Unfortunately, even when I'm pushing the computer hard, for some reason the fans run pretty hard, and I don't know why. You shouldn't do that. And I'm going to have to try and figure it out. I think there's like some kind of setting that needs to be changed. But regardless of the matter, it's a problem. So, and I generally want you to try not to be annoyed by it. So maybe you're not. For my ears, I'm a big audio guy. For me, this is a problem. And so I want the best possible audio I can give you. There we go. So anyway, but the expander sounds pretty clean to me. The gate.
Open OBS, as you can see here, it's already open. And I'm going to hit record, or not record, I'm going to hit settings. It's already recording. I'm going to go to output, recording up here. Oh, I almost forgot. You need to change this output mode to advanced up here. I can't change.
Okay, so the gate, one of the things I don't like is gates usually aren't perfectly transparent, but, it sounds all right to me, but it could be better. We're going to come in and we're going to EQ my audio as well. And Generally, I usually just use a lot of the defaults, and I can tweak them.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Hi everyone, and welcome to Open Source.
So, you know, I don't particularly like this specific profile on me, so I'm going to just tweak it to taste. I kind of like the way a lav sounds anyway out of the box for me.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Hi everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Today what I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that OBS...
Okay, so I like the way that EQ is sounding. I'm actually going to switch here, because I have a specific pattern. I like to do it in this order: EQ, dynamics, and then generalize effects. Now, speaking of effects, we're going to come in here to restoration next, and I'm going to do a little bit of de-essing. And
Studio can record ProRes.
All right, and that de-essing sounds all right to my ears anyway. So I think we've got some sound. Now the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce, sorry, wrong button. I'm going to bounce my mix to track here, and I'm going to go ahead and select a new track. Now what bouncing is this is actually taking the full program feed and mixing it down. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to actually be able to do loudness normalization on this with all the effects in it, and I like to start with a new one. And if I'm using, you know, multiple audio channels, they all need to be mixed down into a stereo mix anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and say here, I'm going to go ahead and label these real quick. Lav mic. If it was more than just me, I would most likely actually name it the person's lav mic or whatever. In fact, in some cases, even in my videos, I've actually called it Vincent's lav mic as well, or Vincent's mic. Then we're going to do mix down here, so I know this is the mix. And now we've muted this up here, and so now what we've got left is just the bottom. So let's go ahead and let's actually see what we can do. So I'm going to go ahead and do some loudness measurement on this. My target is YouTube's official loudness target of -14, but it doesn't have to be exactly in the ballpark. Okay, we're at -26 lufs. That should be very close to 14, you know, 15, -15 lufs, for example, is pretty good. Even -16 I might take, but -26 is way off, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually fix that by manually adjusting our levels to get them up there. And I will do this with a limiter. I go into transparent master, and I set my ceiling up here to -2 dBFS. And now we've already increased it by 3 dB. I'm pretty bad at the math on how this up converts most of the time. I always seem to forget how much it is, so I just kind of play with it. Okay, so that's 3 dB. So we need to go up a lot more than that, and that's what I was thinking. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to come in here to the effect, and let's go up to, yeah, let's just push it 10 dB. And I don't know if that, I think that might actually be, let's see, I think that would be -13 lufs. Yeah, that would be -13 lufs, I'm pretty sure, if my math's right. But let's go ahead and check. It's actually not just a measurement, it also depends on the speaking volume and pauses, and there you go. And so you're, yeah, -16 in this case. So, you know, we're getting in the ballpark, but I would like to be a little closer. So I'm going to go +12, let's see, 12.5. That will probably get us pretty much right in spec, at least in the ballpark, based on our level measurements so far. Let's take a look. -14.9, I will take that. That is close enough. So we've got our audio mixed and to, you know, YouTube spec to reasonable. And by the way, the reason I set the true peak, the decibel true peak, that to 2 dBFS is because YouTube spec is to do that. And so I'm mastering to YouTube spec. All right, so there we go. Just like that, folks, we have got video pretty much done. It's in the can, folks. So at this point, the only thing I might adjust coming in here, I think this is going to sound too loud next to the dialogue.
And until next time, goodbye, everybody.
And action.
Oh, yeah, this is too loud. So it's just too suddenly loud to me. So we're going to come in here, and I'm actually going to fix that. So we're going to manually just lower the levels of this. And there we go. And just to make sure we're still in spec, because again, this could change it, I'm going to go ahead and do our loudness adjustment, our measurement again. Okay, it's -15, so it did drop it just a tiny bit, but that's okay. And I think now this will sound a lot less annoying to us.
And action.
Well, I thought it would. Maybe we bring it down So we do not want it to be too loud.
And action.
Oh, I bet the...
And
Oh, pfft. I'm a genius, ain't I? I put it at the wrong place.
and
Okay, so this is, yeah. Duh, you start it where the clip is. All right. So now we can bring it down. I think this is probably in the ballpark where we want it.
goodbye, everybody. And action.
That sounds a little better to me. And so let's go ahead and let's do a level of measurement again. Again, trying to get everything generally in the right spec. And yeah, -15 is still fine. And our true peak is -2.2. So awesome. So this is definitely meeting the spec just fine. All right, folks. Well, I think that covers it. So I think at this point we can go ahead and we can render this out. So let's do that. So I always like to call mine output. And then I'm going to come in here to projects. And this is going to be OBS right here. We're going to up convert to 24. You can actually do 2-3 pull down within DaVinci here if you need to do this for a TV station, by the way, right here. But that's going to interlace it as TV stations usually expect. We're going to switch over here to H.264. I'm going to lock to 10 megs a second. Okay. We're going to double check that our audio is, yep, okay, it's our stereo bus, which is bus 1. That's what's going to be getting our mix. And then we've got 16-bit sound, and it's linear PCM. For those that don't know, linear PCM, what that is that is basically uncompressed sound. So, you know, the video, I'm going to compress the crap out of it before YouTube gets it, because I just have slow internet. If I had the bandwidth, maybe I would go ahead and give them a ProRes file, for example, or a DNX HD file, which is minimally compressed and is commonly used for broadcast. But I'm not going to do that because those files would take forever to upload even a short video on my internet. But the audio is something I'm extremely concerned about. Honestly, for me, if the video is a little blocky here, I can work with that. But the image or the audio needs to be where it's at, right? The audio needs to be great. Because let's be realistic. If you're watching a YouTube video and it sounds really bad, would you be watching? I mean, look at this video right now. If I sounded super bad, which I'm not monitoring the mix, so maybe I do. Let's hope not. But if I sounded really bad, you probably wouldn't be watching this right now. All right, so let's go ahead and export this. So I'm going to add it to the render queue. Oh, I forgot something. We need to actually do custom resolution. And 960p it is. And I'm going to go ahead and hit render all. And here we go. Now, because I got noise reduction on this, this is going to be a little slow until it hits a screen cap. Because DaVinci's smart enough to see that, oh, you know what? We are dealing with something that is not, yeah, the video image is under this, if you will, in effect, you know, which in the multicam it's not really, but if it was on a different track, it still does it. But you can see just how much it jumped up, 191 frames per second, 190 frames per second being rendered here, which is amazing. Thankfully, most of this is just the screen cap, so look at that. Now we're dropping back down, but again, we got most of the video rendered that quick. So, you know, I gotta say, DaVinci is pretty daggone good at rendering, and yeah, what can I say? I'm a big fan. So now here comes our copyright text up on the screen. And the only image in this whole thing that's DNX HD is right here. That is the end credit. And the reason I'm doing it that way is because that's going to be re-encoded over and over again. If that was H.264, it would diminish the quality more, right? So at this point, it's only really being heavily compressed once when it goes out to YouTube by me, and then YouTube will recompress it again, even worse. But anyway, that's it. It's done, and we're good to go here. So I can go ahead and we can open up another one. This is another one that I did. We can go ahead and take a look at this. And I don't know, I'm trying to remember where I was at this one. Okay, yeah, looks like I'm at the very beginning. I don't know what that in and out was. I think that was just accidental marking on my part. But it looks like we did do a sync already. Yep. Looks like we did.
Hi, everyone.
Great. We're in sync. And I don't mean the band, but I mean NSYNC's a pretty good band. I'm just saying. So, you know, if anybody out there needs some music to listen to, this would be good by me. And actually, you know what? I have no reason. Oh, wait, this isn't a multicam. I just now realized that. Okay. And this is another thing that needs to be multicam. Do you notice I got a lot of multicam going on lately? It's one of those things. I used to actually sync in the multicam, but I've found that it's better just to do it outside of it, the way I'm doing things. So let's go ahead and zoom in. I may want to boost the in-camera audio a little bit, or the computer audio a little bit. Okay. Awesome. Sounds like we got the two clips in sync. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just cut right here. Okay, I'm going to link these all together. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring them out here, and I only need one of these for syncing. So I should have done that before I unlinked them. Now remember what we did last time? Here we go. Going to do it again. Multicam clip it is. And there it is. Multicam. Multicam.3. I didn't mean to do that. No, 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 no. Do not delete the clip. Yes, that's better. Oh, that was a doozy right there. Just going to check and see if we're still live streaming successfully. Good idea to check that every once in a while. And it looks like that we are. All right, good job. So, good job, Internet. At least the backup is staying up good. All right. And Trevor in the chat. This is live. Live in front of a live studio audience. Vincent edits stuff. What could possibly go wrong? Anyway. But no, yeah, this is live. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create me a new timeline. And I think, let's just double check the project settings. Yep, resolution's right. And my image scaling is right. So the reason I choose this stuff at the project level is because every time I make a new timeline, it's going to automatically apply all this stuff. So it's, I used to didn't do that, but hey, it's, you know, it's interesting how you use a program pro and you learn the correct ways to do things. Isn't that funny how that works? So I'm going to bring this in, and now I've got my clip in there. And just like the last one, this does already have, you know, a color grade on my clip. And we're going to have to sync the span. I still don't know. I want to say that at this point it never syncs with multicams like that. So the only thing I can think of is that the only thing I can think of at all is the fact that this has to be that it just doesn't support it right now. That's the only thing I can think of. So Blackmagic Design, if one of your engineers wants to fix that for me, that'd be great. Especially considering I'm apparently wanting to do a lot more multicam lately. I gotta say, multicam is very easy. Set up a camera, do a recording like this, you know, the screen cap or another camera. You just cut them together and they sync perfectly. And what can I say? I just, you know, the workflow is not half bad. So let me see here if I can get these lined up. And let's see. We're going to zoom in. Okay. All right. It looks like we've got sync.
Hi everyone, and welcome.
And I'm going to turn the room audio off now.
Open source tonight.
That's what happens when you turn the camera audio off, see? Just to review, with the camera audio, I'll turn it down so it won't be as loud. But this is with the camera audio, just the camera audio.
Hi everyone, and welcome.
Who wants to listen to that, right? Doesn't sound very good. You may not be able to hear that through the internet feed very good, but it doesn't sound as good. But this sounds a lot better, right? This is a live mic.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Today, I wanted to talk to you about a streaming server. Have you ever wanted the ability to stream?
Have you ever wanted the ability to live stream like this? Well, we can do that for you. Anyway, gotta love that 480p live. Yep. Yeah, Trevor, I'm presently on my backup internet connection, and this is the most I could do. But I've been wanting to do a live stream for several days now, so I'm just like, yeah, I'm recording 1080p. I'll probably upload an uploaded version of the full 1080p, you know, after I do this, because I got it recording. But yeah, unfortunately, the live viewers, you get the low broadcast quality here. But hopefully you can still follow it pretty good. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do, now that I've got all this synced, I'm going to go ahead and link these. Well, actually, first I'm going to get rid of the audio. Now I'm going to link these, bring up my other track, right click, and I'm going to change this track type to mono for my audio because that's what we recorded. And you'll see how we get YouTube stereo in a minute for those that are just tuning in. So let's go ahead and cut the open real quick here. So I'm going to go ahead and do my cuts. Right now, I am not using the DaVinci Resolve Speed Editor. It's not that I don't want to. It's the fact that I kind of have to not use it because I'm using its USB cable for the output of my video switcher. Sorry! You know, so you can't get to watch that. But let's just say that a lot of this I can do faster with the Speed Editor keyboard. So that is very true. And for those that want to see me while I edit, I'll turn that on for a minute, my in camera. But now we can start cutting.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Today I wanted to talk to you about a streaming server. Have you ever wanted the ability to stream video around your home network? Well, believe it or not, I've actually wanted to do that. I'm a bit of a video nerd, and I'm like...
Yeah, everyone already kind of knew that, but in case you didn't know, now you know.
Like, wouldn't it be cool if I could like generate a video feed and send it to a TV? Hi everybody, and welcome to
Okay, we started it over. So I'm bad for doing that. So we're going to do the blade right here. And let's see, did it cut both tracks? It didn't. I don't know why it doesn't cut both tracks. Because it's linked, isn't it? Oh, it's not. Okay, I'm complaining about a thing that was my fault. Oops. Okay.
Send it to a TV.
So this is where I start over. And I'm going to do my cut. You notice I can still work pretty fast even without the Speed Editor. I've been using this for over a year. You get good at it.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Today, I wanted to talk to you about something that I want to do, and maybe some of you do too, which is to generate your own video feed that can be passed around the network to be viewed on your mobile devices, your computer, maybe even your TV, all using...
Okay, I just got to stop this for a minute and address the chat. Trevor, oh my goodness, you got that right. A bit of a video nerd. You're probably the biggest video nerd I know. I mean, I don't know how many video nerds you know, Trevor, but, you know, maybe I'm the only one. But I'm definitely a big video nerd, that's for sure. All right, continuing.
Open source software. So let's get into setting up an easy-to-use streaming server.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut. Well, come on. Why isn't it doing it? It did it the last time. Oh, hold on. I forgot to put this back in multicam mode. Oops. Sometimes I edit so fast I forget what I'm doing. Now it works. See, it's funny how it works when you do it correctly, isn't it?
So, as you can see here, when we look at my screen, you can see we have this...
And now you can see me looking at the screen over on this one. Instead of, you know, looking at you all. And I cut back using that. So it's a good workflow. What can I say? I mean, look at the camera. That means I know I want the camera on screen. I'm kind of directing it as I'm making it. And then, oh, okay, I'm not looking at the camera. That means I should be showing you the screen.
Program called RTSP Simple Server. Now, it also implements some other protocols, specifically RTMP and LLHLS and HLS.
For some reason, saying LLHLS and LL MPEG dash. Wait, I didn't even say MPEG dash on there. That's right. Well, but anyway, I was saying the HLS and I don't know why, but for some reason the LLHLS thing confused me. But anyway, it's low latency is what that means. And so you can have a minimal delay. If you're using the regular HLS or MPEG dash spec instead of the low latency versions, they're not low latency. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? In my experience, it seems like MPEG dash might be a slight bit better at delay. But yeah, I don't know. I've been playing around with both of these, and I plan on probably making a video or two about this at some point. But anyway.
Now, HLS and LLHLS, so low latency HTTP live streaming and HTTP live streaming, is a protocol that was developed by Apple.
And here we go.
Apple
All right.
was developed by Apple years ago.
Oh, almost forgot. We need to start dropping our timeline resolution down a little bit. It starts to make the machine chug a little bit.
HTTP live streaming. is a protocol that was developed by Apple years ago, and it allows you...
Years ago, everybody. I say that like it was decades ago, but it wasn't. And I'm going to hop out of here for a minute and adjust my multicam because I just thought about something. You notice with me when I edit, I kind of jump around a lot. It's kind of how I do it. So what I want to do is I want to take my desktop ProRes file and I want to just bring it up a little bit because I actually configured OBS to record in ProRes. Gotta love that ProRes quality. All right, now that I've actually fixed that, you can see up here at the top, look at that, we got our border back in our video image, just like I want with the top bar, if you notice on my videos. So we can go ahead and continue on with that now. And now I have to, because I didn't think to do that earlier, I got to run back and put it back in multicam mode. And now I have.
Is a protocol that was developed by Apple years ago, and it allows you a whole architecture, if you will, to stream video using a simple web server to other devices. A lot of stuff supports Roku boxes, for example. As somebody that has developed code for the Roku, I can tell you that it will take an HLS signal. Interesting.
It will, but daggone is it picky with its HLS. Or at least it feels picky. I've also been playing with MPEG Dash on the Roku too. I hope I ain't annoying you all by stopping the video and kind of pointing this stuff out. It's just, I thought some of y'all might be interested in this. But now I've been playing with some Roku development lately, and I got to tell you, MPEG Dash on the Roku, in my experience, is just use HLS, I guess.
Enough, it won't from this server though, and I don't know why that is. But if I take the video from it and use
what I just say about it being picky, right?
FFmpeg to convert it to HLS again, it works. So I'm not really sure what the implementation issue is. If I knew more about what was causing it, I'd put it in a bug report. But right now, all I really know is it doesn't do what it's supposed to. The Roku just tries to load it forever and it fails. But anyway, regardless of that, we can go ahead and use that to view it on our mobile devices, etc. It's got a built-in web server with a player for each of the streams. So I'll show you how to do that. But first, let's actually show how to get it set up on your Raspberry Pi.
So here we go. Cut back to the desktop.
So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over here to Releases. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find the ARM v7 one.
I don't remember making any mistakes through this, so I'm just going to face forward through it. I can spot check this later. Alright. Imagine if I actually talked that fast. Some people actually think I talk that fast for some reason. Oh, you know what? I forgot the tar command, how to use it. Which I don't know why, because I've used it plenty, but I seem to always forget it. So let me go back here. Where is, okay. So SSHN. Okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to do...
Okay, so I think I want to cut this out. Yeah, I want to cut this out.
Okay. So now that I've got it downloaded, I'm going to do...
Okay, so I think we...
Use the tar. Okay, and then I'm going to do...
Okay. Alright, I think we should cut right here. Blade tool. Alright, and now I'm going to come back. And... Okay. Okay, we'll delete that to get rid of it, and then let's see how that transitions.
Okay, which is TAR, and I'm going to do space. So now that I've got it downloaded, I'm going to do tar.
Okay, so where...
And download it. Here it goes. You can see it's downloading real fast, and we're done.
Okay, so I think we actually want to cut right there. So let's come in, and I'm just going to cut this out. Now we can go ahead and move on. And I think we will probably cut back to the camera for two reasons. One, because I want to. Two, we can hide the jump cut.
Here it goes. You can see it's downloading real fast, and we're done. So now that I've got it downloaded, I'm going to do tar space dash.
I don't know, actually. That was pretty smooth. I think we'll just leave it like that.
X F. Do a space, and I'm going to take my file and open it.
Bash autocomplete is the best thing in the world for people like me that don't want to spell things.
Now, we should have a new... Well, no, actually, we won't have a subfolder because it's just an empty... Yep, here it is. Oh, no, we do have a subfolder. No, I'm sorry, that's a... All right, and now that we've extracted it, we should have a brand new executable here.
So let me go ahead and cut that mistake out.
Well, no, actually, we won't have a subfolder because it's just getting empty. Yep, here it is. Oh, no, we do have a subfolder. No, I'm sorry, that's a... All right, and now...
All right. Cut it right here. So if you ain't noticed, I do make mistakes pretty often. This is kind of something I'm pretty good at.
For server.
All right, and now...
Take that link that we just copied and download it. Here it goes. You can see it's downloading real fast, and we're done. All right, and...
Okay. Okay, hold on.
All right, and now that we've extracted it, we should have a brand new executable here. And if I run this, you can see that the server is up and running. Let's open up Firefox and check it out. So I'm just going to go to...
And of course, I tried to go to localhost, forgetting that I'm putting it on my Raspberry Pi, because earlier I was testing it on the desktop. So just another one of those mistakes I got to cut out. Let's see. Do I actually go back?
All right, so why don't we go ahead and take a look.
Okay, so I think we can go ahead and safely cut the rest of this all out. All right. All right, there we go.
So I'm going to... and download it. Here it goes. You can see it's downloading real fast, and we're done. All right, so why don't we go ahead and...
Oh, hold on. We actually want to keep some of this. I just now realized that.
Colon 888 and do that. All right, so why don't we go ahead and go...
Well, I'm confused. What did we... Did we already Okay. Where are we at here? Okay, so yeah, we already untarred it. So this is actually... This is fine to cut,
after we put in the...
Yeah, I think that's fine to cut, actually. Oh, I reversed my cut down here, didn't I? Yep. Trying to find that out.
Set to...
Okay.
And you can see we get, after we put in the colon 8888, which is the...
Okay. I think we can cut it right here. Or actually, we might want to cut it right here.
So I'll type in the IP address of my Raspberry Pi.
Yep, I like that transition point. Okay, awesome.
So I'll type in the IP address of my Raspberry Pi. In your case, it might be different.
Okay.
And you can see we get, after we put in the...
Yep, final cut. I guess people's movies are going to be made in Final Cut, and they'll make their final cut in Final Cut. Yes, I'm bad at making bad puns. But to be fair, Trevor kind of made me want to do that, because you put that in the chat.
Colon 8888.
Are you enjoying watching this live stream, Trevor? I mean, you seem to be sticking around, so I guess you're enjoying watching me edit here.
And you can see we get, after we put in the colon 8888, which is the HLS server's port, the web server's port, you can see we get a 404 page not found. So let's go ahead and create a stream to it. Now in my case, I've already got FFmpeg, I'm sorry, OBS Studio set to record. So if I bring that over real quick, which is also used to record this, you can see I can hit start streaming.
Oh, yep, I had to put in the right address. Still testing if local, wasn't I?
Okay, so let's go ahead and generate a stream to it. So I'm going to go in to OBS Studio.
Okay, so I'm actually going to just show you how to...
So let's go ahead and create a stream to it.
Oh, Trevor does say it's cool. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
So let's go ahead and create a stream to it. Now in my case, I've already got a...
Okay, so I'm actually going to cut it right here because this is where the mistake is. Okay, and I think that right about there is probably a good place to transition back in.
The web server's port, you can see we get a 404 page not found.
Oof, I cut myself off. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so I have to be a little more selective.
So let's go ahead.
Sometimes I will zoom in really far to look at the waveform carefully. And you can even, if you bring this down, well, it will do it. There we go. I can see the waveform better. Okay, so this is right about where I want to do it because I want to end with the breath and the cut here. And now, I'm gonna come back out. And Trevor says that I think I'm gonna try it on my Raspberry Pi. Great idea.
Real quick, which is also used to record this.
And where is... Okay, so there's the mistake. And we got that cut out. Again, this would be faster if I was using the speed editor. But I don't know how much faster, honestly. I should probably time it sometime. Maybe we should do a video about that.
The web server's port, you can see we get a 404 page not found. Okay.
Okay, so that one we're gonna have to make a note of to do a good fade down on that, because I still cut just a little bit of my breath off, but it's close enough.
So let's go ahead and generate a stream to it. So I'm gonna go in to OBS Studio, and I am going to point it at my Raspberry Pi's IP address.
Okay.
By default, there's no password authentication or key authentication. So by just putting it in like that, and then test is my stream, I'm gonna hit start recording. Or not.
Put it in the local IP again.
Again.
Or did it not save?
All right. So
I think that was where it didn't save. Actually, is what it was.
All right. So why don't we generate a stream so we can actually see the?
Okay. So I think we can cut right here. Yeah. Okay. And while we're actually cutting this out, I'm going to use this time to extend this a tiny bit. So just a tiny bit to try and catch that breath.
We get a 404 page not found.
Okay, yeah, my words are so close that I'm going to have to be pretty surgical about this. Turn off snapping up here so I can get it just right. Okay, that's pretty good. And if we actually do, what I want to do is just a cross dissolve, but let's just see if I do I can zoom back out here. If I do a fade, well, what is it? What is your problem? It normally, I didn't have the track fully up. Okay, so I can do like a very gentle fade here. So I'm gonna do like 6 seconds.
Web server's port, you can see we get a full
six frames, not 6 seconds. Sorry.
4 page not found.
Awesome, sounds great. And I might just leave that in there.
Port, you can see we get a 404 page not found. All right, so why don't we generate a stream so we can actually see the HLS feed? All right, so why don't we generate a stream so we can see the
Okay, so
found. All right, so why don't we generate a stream so we can actually see the HLS feed? All right, so why don't we...
Okay, oh goodness, I just spent all that time and then I'm going to do this anyway. All right, well, we're going to do it and do this right here. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sometimes it does not pay to be like zoomed in too much. Okay. And why is it trying to... I don't know. Why is it trying to select? Okay. Now it's not. Oh, what the? Okay, what's that all about? I don't... Did I not? I didn't smooth. I know what it is. I turned snapping off, so the cuts didn't match anymore, exactly. Okay, that's why. And these cuts still match, so we can...
You can see we get a 404 page not found. All right.
So I can switch it back. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into this, and I'm going to go video track 1. Because we're going to see me talking again. Also, let me just pause here. Trevor is curious about whether or not that the Raspberry Pi could make a good Raspberry Pi. No, I messed that up. Trevor's wondering in the chat whether or not a Raspberry Pi would make a good DaVinci Resolve rendering server, because you can actually do network rendering with this, with the Studio Edition, which I do have. Couple problems with that. One, I don't know as far as if it would have enough power. I mean, I guess it could in theory do it, except for one big problem. They do not have DaVinci Resolve for ARM64, except for Macintosh. So let's get macOS on a Raspberry Pi, and yeah, that's gonna break a million EULAs. But you know, like what we really need is to get, because the APIs are going to be different anyway and stuff if we did that, like to get to the graphics, to the hardware and stuff. So what we really need is Blackmagic Design to create a Raspberry Pi build. I doubt they're going to do that, because I just assume performance is so bad that it wouldn't even be worth anybody's time. But maybe they will. I would like to see them have DaVinci Resolve for Linux, ARM64. So, you know, Blackmagic Design, could you get on that, please? As somebody that really likes ARM processors and, you know, wouldn't mind his next desktop PC to have an ARM processor, and if that's an option to do video editing, I'm just saying. My Mac already has that. Might as well have it on both. Anyway, continuing on.
You can see we get a 404 page not found. All right, so why don't we generate a stream so we can see the HLS feed? It's very easy. I'll use OBS as the encoder.
Okay, cut right back.
As you can see, here's OBS, which is also a recording. I'll go into the settings, and I'm going to change this IP right here to my Raspberry Pi's IP address.
Did I actually enter it right this time? Let's look.
And
now I did.
There
Okay.
it is. Then I'm going to hit apply. And then you want to use colon here at the end, 1935. The RTMP's at the beginning, RTMP, colon / IP address, colon port 1935 / your stream name. Make sure this is set to custom up here so you can get to that. Then hit apply, you can hit OK, and now I can hit start streaming.
And there it goes. Now it's
And
encoding.
just like that, it's working. Now, within a few seconds, we'll be able to check out the HLS feed by going over here.
Which I try to check it out way too fast, but because it takes a second to do it.
And typing / our stream name at the end.
Oh, you know, one other thing I probably should have put in the video, just thought about, is the fact that, well, you all get to know this anyway. Maybe I'll put a note somewhere or something about it in the video. But if you want the HLS to be generated as soon as the stream starts, which I prefer because if you don't, the first person that requests the HLS feed, it has to actually start generating it, and that takes several seconds. So it will make the first buffering time even longer than it has to be. So, you know, I personally like the idea of just letting it do it as soon as the stream starts. But, you know, if you don't want HLS all the time, maybe not.
We're going to wait and see if I did. So let's just stand by. Yeah, and I think it... Oh, there it is. As you can see...
Okay. So I'm going to actually cut this dead space out because, you know, I want to. Pretty good reason, right? It also will increase the pacing on this a little bit. People just don't have the attention spans anymore. Honestly, though, I'm surprised that people are watching. I've done some long form stuff just a little bit recently, and I gotta say, I was surprised that people actually watched it. I was thinking, it wouldn't work. And I'm really a big fan of long form, so, you know, there might be more of that coming considering the audience seems to like it.
So let's just stand by. Yeah, and I think it... Oh, there it is. As you can see, we have a recording.
All right, so I think we're going to just go straight to our computer angle since we cut to this part.
Just stand by. Yeah, and I think it... Oh, there it is. As you can see, we have a recording of me from several seconds ago on the screen, because that's what OBS is recording, but it works great. So, there you go. Anyway, everybody, I hope you...
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim our little pause out here. Okay, got it. And you're almost at the end of another video, everybody. For those that have been watching since the beginning, this is your second video you get to watch in the process.
So, there you go. Anyway, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's simple video.
Okay, and so this is going to be, we're going to want to change it back to camera 1. Or to angle 1, in my case, camera.
Recording, but it works great.
In my case, the camera.
So, there you go. Anyway, everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's simple video. It's not really that hard to get this all set up. So, I hope you found this useful and informative. Thanks for watching Open Source Tonight, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Maybe next time I won't even... I have so much trouble now that I'm using my Blackmagic camera to look right at the camera. Because when I had a monitor on the Dagon camera, it helped, right? It helped me being like, okay, I'm looking right at the camera. Because I tried to address the audience. You know, but with that, I have a lot more trouble. It's like, where is the camera? Because it's like trying to get the exact... you know, look ahead. It's a little more of an issue. So I think what I'm going to do is like mount a production monitor like right under the camera on the tripod. That's probably what I'm going to have to do. All right, so that's the end right there.
Goodbye, everybody.
So for those of y'all that was wondering before, I do like to cut on the hand up in the air, just like the last video. And right here looks like a good place. So there it is. We'll cut the end off, and there we go. We got 5 minutes, 35 seconds, and 18 frames of final program so far, but we ain't done yet. Next, we need to go into my power bin, and we're going to grab the logo you are used to at the end. And I'm going to bring the levels down on this a little bit. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and bring the copyright text in while we're at it. Didn't mean to open that up there. Now I'm going to do I like to do my 12 frames fade in, which sometimes, there we go. Sometimes I have a little trouble getting it to listen to me. And let's go ahead and check playback.
It's useful and informative. Thanks for watching Open Source tonight, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay.
And action.
Awesome. So, and for those that was wondering, the font renders weird if I don't set the timeline to full resolution. You can see that looks normal to everybody probably now. But anyway, we've got everything good to go. I'm going to go double check my color grade real quick, and then we will head to audio mixing, because that's an important part of the video. And for me, I will definitely spend some time on it, because I really care about these things called your all's ears. I want it to sound great to every single one of you. Okay, so for those that are wondering, this is what it looks like straight out of the camera. This is it. So what that is, it's what's called log, and I didn't explain this in the other video, but what this is called log. In this case, it's Blackmagic Film V5. And the thing about it is that this is designed to preserve the best dynamic range. Now, in this specific environment, honestly, there wasn't that much dynamic range to preserve, but I still like to just use this workflow 100% of the time. So once we turn on our grade, it looks a lot more normal. Oh, switch to the camera. It looks a lot more normal if I switch my grade back on, see? And then we've got, I believe I've got noise reduction on this. Yep, I believe that's what it is. Yeah. So if we look at my scopes here, as I said previously, I'm really picky when it comes to noise. So you can look at my scopes right here, and you can see that there's a very clear noise pattern in the shadows. And if I turn it off, it's even worse. So this is noise reduction off, and that's on. Now, on, there's still, from the looks of it, maybe a tiny bit of noise, but it's tolerable noise. But off, it's, it's a problem. Now for me, as I was saying before with the last color grade, I'm really picky about noise. I don't want any noise really visible at all. Some people, are not as picky about that, and they will leave a little bit more in than I will. And I mean, that's definitely one way to do it, I suppose. Definitely faster for rendering, because when you get to the rendering again, you'll see, just like the last time, that the noise reduction really hits it. So,
hi everybody, and welcome to Open Source tonight.
Okay, so I got my audio up here. There's one thing I actually want to do real quick. I want to try and hide. Remember, we made a few cuts. So these are, anything where these are is cuts. So these cuts right here don't matter because it's still in the same audio. We don't need to crossfade, but we will for a cut like this, for example. I also just now realized I forgot to turn my, I did this in the last one too. I'm bad for doing that over and over, where I forget to, when I go in and check the color grade and stuff, doing that. So that way I have both of them up there. That's why you were seeing black a minute ago. So that was user error, everybody. Anyway, but let me go ahead and I'm going to add an audio transition right here. And I will generally add this of a few frames. I generally try to keep it pretty short. So in our case, let's try 4 frames. I think 4 frames will be enough.
All right, and now.
Oh yeah, that was a perfectly smooth cut. Nobody knew that I cut it there anymore. Cut it there. Nobody knew I cut there anymore. Cut it is not a word, Vince. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next one. There is actually shortcuts that can automate this, but I like to have fine-tuned precision. And if I'm being honest, I kind of have enough shortcut keys to remember anyway. And this is something I'm willing to do by hand, so it's okay.
So I'll type in the IP address of my Raspberry Pi.
All right, so that cut's a little more obvious, but I don't really care, even with the transition. So this one right here is one I was really concerned about. That's why we actually added this. But I don't want that. That was really just a placeholder. So I'm going to go ahead and cross, well, okay. I may have to zoom out. Why is it not? This is weird. Normally it would let me crossfade without having to. Oh, hold on a minute. Is the, oh no, the audio is different. Well, okay, I don't know what the problem is. Maybe if I put, That's weird. It's not done this to me before. Okay, troubleshooting take 1. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to reboot DaVinci, which takes like frames of effort to do. I just now realized that we've been streaming for an hour and 10 minutes too. So this is the longest live stream I've done in a long time. All right, so we're going to wait for DaVinci to reopen. There it is. And let's go Raspberry Pi streaming server. And we're back, opened up. And now let me see if I can find where we was. We were right here from the looks of it. Can we add a crossfade correctly now? Well, nope, I don't think we can. Why? Maybe I could... I don't understand what it's... This is a weird issue. Like, this normally doesn't happen. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, let me see if I can... Oh, there's a tiny gap. I see what the problem is. So what I need to do is fill in that gap. Now, oh yeah, fixed it. All right, so, and we're gonna do, again, 3 or 4 frames. I think 4 is probably gonna be right on the money for this one, looking at the waveform.
All right, so why don't we generate...
Yeah, that sounded great. All right. So, you know, this is part of the sound mixing process, and I see so many YouTube videos, and I have to admit I forget to do this sometimes, where they don't add these, and it makes the cuts really jarring. So, you know. Oh, well, we've had that audio thing again. This must have been when I had the snapping off, when I was doing some deletes. But it's all right, I fixed it. That's why we go back and review.
So let's just stand by. Yeah, and I think it...
Great, sounds good. Okay, and we're gonna bring one on. Well, I guess we should make sure that there isn't a gap on this one too. There isn't actually. Okay, good to know. Okay, so there we go. And there's actually ways to do stuff like this with the speed editor for those that are wondering a lot of this. And again, some of this I would be doing with the speed editor had I had it. Crossfades, I generally actually still do these by hand though. But fade up from black, I actually do have a key that I use for that. So like at the beginning of the video, I might add that, and you know, right, I'm going to do it by hand because again, I'm not using the speed editor.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody.
All right, and that was a very smooth cut. And I think that's it because that's the outro, right? Yep. And we don't want to put one here because that's just fine to cut that way.
Next time. Goodbye, everybody. And action.
All right, and so now we've got our basic stuff for the sound mix, but you know what we need to do? We need to come in here to Fairlight do the real stuff now, so let's do that. So first things first, just like from the other video, we're going to change this to EQ Dynamic Effects. I'm going to go ahead and add some compression to get those levels beefy. Uh-oh.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Open Source Tonight.
Okay, sounds good. And I think we've got some computer fan noise in the background, just like I was dealing with last time. Let's listen.
Sure.
Find a quiet spot here. Okay, right here.
Open up Firefox and check it out. So I'm just going to go to...
Oh, yeah, you can definitely hear my fans running. They've been running pretty hard lately, so we're going to just put a gate on it and try and hide that a little bit.
You can see that the server is up and running. Let's open up Firefox and check it out. So I'm just going to go to...
Oh, that's a blooper we didn't get rid of, isn't it? Yeah, that is.
Interesting. Firefox couldn't establish a connection.
Okay, I didn't realize we left something in there like that, but...
So I'm just going to go to...
Okay, so...
You can see that the server is up and running. Let's open up Firefox and check it out.
Okay.
You can see...
Okay, so I don't think we really have to point out that they can see, you know, where we're at on this. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to just do cut, delete.
Here, and if I run this, so I'll type in the IP address of my Raspberry.
Okay.
I have a brand new executable here, and if I run this.
Okay, so I'm going to actually have to finesse this some more.
You can see that the server is up and running. Let's open up Firefox and check it out.
All right, can I just cut that? I mean, that would be a great transition point if we could make it work.
The server is up and running. Let's open up Firefox and check it out. So I'll type in the IP address of my Raspberry Pi. In your case, it might be different.
Oh yeah, that's great. I'm actually going to bring these levels up a little bit here too, speaking of sound mixing, because I was a little farther away from the mic there on my shirt. I was talking quieter because it went on my shirt, so my loud mic. But anyway.
The server is up and running. Let's open up Firefox and check it out. So I'll type in the...
Okay, that's a little too loud. We want to just be in the generalized ballpark as the other waves. And then I will do loudness mastering to get it all just perfect.
You can see that the server is up and running. Let's open up Firefox and check it out. So I'll type in the IP address of my Raspberry Pi. In your case, it might be different. And you can see we get, after we put in the colon 8888, which is the HLS server's port, the web server's port, you can see we get a 404 page not found. All right, so why don't we generate...
All right, so I need to go back and fix these crossfades. So just like before, I need to go back and, because I ripple deleted, I'm pretty sure what the problem was. I think if our memory serves, oh no, that one's still there, good. I just have to zoom in to find it. So this one is the only one that needs to be added then. And again, we're gonna try the good old fashioned, easy to do, that seems to work 4 or 5 seconds, but I mean, I play it to taste, but.
So check it out. So I'll type in the IP address of my...
It sounds great, all right. And this one we did already have, yep, good. And I believe this one right here will be our last cuts, yep, right here. They've all got it, all right, good. So let's go back to Fairlight now. And what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead. Okay, so most of my waveforms are all right, and the compression will kind of get most of them where I need them to be. So the compression is good, so we can go ahead.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Open Source Tonight.
All right, I like my compression where it's at. Let's go in and EQ it, and again, like before, it's gonna be kind of to taste. I find that, unlike most male voices, I can EQ my voice up into about 130, and it's for the frequency, and it's fine. You know, like just roll that off. A lot of male voices, you can't do that, but I can do that with mine, so I do it.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Open Source Tonight. Today, I wanted to talk to you about something that...
All right, great. So our EQ is good to go. I'm happy with that. We could always finesse it more, but I used to did, but honestly, I think I'm probably the only person that cares. So I kind of took a back step there. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of de-essing.
I want to do, and maybe some of you do too, which is...
All right, great. I like my de-essing. Let's see.
Software. So let's get into setting up.
Okay, yep, my de-essing sounds great. So I think we pretty well got it. Now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and master the final mix to the YouTube specifications. So that way it will be the best possible version for YouTube. So I'm gonna bounce my track just like we did last time to new track. And that's just gonna take everything and put that into the final mix that we can then really start to tweak with here. So the final recording, and just like before, we're gonna call it mix, not MI. Oh my goodness. Today I am going to type, okay, there, and then we'll just type live mic up here. Okay, awesome. So once I figured out how to type again, once I figure out how to type again, that really helped. So now what I'm going to do is this one we can pretty well just get rid of. We can minimize it real good, and then I'm going to go ahead and take this one and bring it up, and we're going to keep this one unmuted. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to analyze my audio levels, and what we're looking for is around -14 LUFS, and a true peak of no more than -2 dBFS. So let's see how close we are and how much we got to make some adjustments to get it where we need to be for loudness. Okay, just like the last recording, I'm not surprised. My LUFS is usually in the 20s, and here it is. Fun fact for you, if this was for broadcast television, I actually could stay in the 20s because in the US, broadcast television is -24 LUFS, if memory serves, and then it's -23 in most of Europe for broadcast mastering. But we're not doing broadcast, we're doing YouTube. So let's fix that. So I'm gonna go ahead and manually get our levels to the final destination. So I'm gonna add a limiter. You might think, you know, I didn't explain this as well the last time, but you might think, what the heck? Why would you put a limiter? You would think that would not be used for this, but we actually can use this for this, because what we want to do is, if it's over -2, we need to just go ahead and smoothly cut that waveform off, which is what our release is here for and everything. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to increase this. Let's try -10.2, and let's see if that's enough. So we're going to go ahead and analyze again. I spent a lot of time going in here and analyzing the audio levels and getting it to where it needs to be. And I used to didn't do this, and the levels between videos wasn't 100% spot on awesome. So -16.7. So our true peak's where I want it to be, but we need to get our actual levels just a little bit more warm, a little more hot. So let's bring this up. I'm going to try, let's try -12, 12.1. Let's try just straight -12. All right, or +12. We're going to increase by 12 decibels. And let's analyze our levels one more time. And that should be pretty much right on the money. Let's find out how close it is. Da-da-da-da. I'm waiting for it to finish. Yoo-hoo! And there it goes. 15.3 lufs. So, you know, just like last video, it was actually about 15 lufs. And again, as long as I'm about a luff off, it's fine. I'm not really going to have to be perfect as far as I'm concerned. And so at this point, I think we've pretty well got it. So we can go ahead and output the video just like we did before. So let's do that. Again, we always call it output. Okay. We're going to select video projects. And I know I got to go back and correct the capital I in video _ projects. So let's go ahead and I'm going to find Raspberry Pi streaming server, hit OK for the folder. Let's go ahead and I'm going to say QuickTime H.264. We're going to do 24 frames per second. We're going to just go ahead and do that. 10,000 kilobits a second, which is about 10 megs. Okay, linear PCM, of course. We were talking about this before, uncompressed audio. Everything is good. I'm going to go ahead and hit render. Here we go, everybody. And as you can see with the noise reduction, it's really going slow. When we hit that screen video feed in a second, though, just watch how much faster it is. We're barely rendering it real time, 23.5, 24 frames per second. And so, you know, this is running on an older NVIDIA 1050 Ti. So, you know, there is that. But here we go. Oh, and look at that. 114, 193, 196. And there we go. Went to 196 frames per second at its max. So as you can see, that really cuts down on it. It's one thing that kind of makes me want to hold on the screen longer, but I won't do it because I want to give people the perfect or close to it viewing experience. Crazy as it may seem, I almost want to treat YouTube closer to being like television or feature film. You know, I want something that's decently polished, but I have had to kind of cut back on that a little bit and be like, yeah, you know, no need to go overboard, Vince. So, you know, but regardless of that, we've got another video rendering in the pipeline. So yeah, there's a couple new videos coming up here, and you get to see the edits of 2 of them. And you know, so I've been trying to do this for years, where I would have a bunch of extra YouTube videos in the pipeline scheduled, and so you know I wouldn't have to rush to try to get one out, so I wouldn't be like ridiculously behind schedule on getting a new video out. Now I've got that. I've got several videos in the pipeline for the Linux channel and several videos in the pipeline for the Vincent Maggard channel. So hey, finally, it only took me like 100 years to get around to actually pulling that off. All right, so let's see what happens next. All right, I do see that we are about to go back. Here we go. 156 frames on that one was the maximum frames per second. So as you can see, that was pretty cool. Let's check the chat. I do see a few people's watching the show. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. There will be an HD upload, re-upload of this probably in the future. So there we go. We've got that done too. Now, I could go ahead and edit the SSH keys one here too. The only other one I haven't edited that's, or actually no, I think this is already edited. Yeah, this is already edited, everybody. Never mind. We're good to go on that. So. But anyway, I think that will conclude our live broadcast, because that's pretty much what I was going to do here. And, you know, I said playing around with Linux. I guess what I should have said is playing around with Linux video editing. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching today's live broadcast. Like I said, recording will probably be up soon. Any last questions or comments in the chat? I'll just sit here for a minute and see. But otherwise, I think we're pretty well good to go. So, yeah. Anytime now, live chat. Anybody's got any comments or suggestions? I know there's a delay on the live stream, so I'm trying to get people, you know, a little bit here. But anyway, you know, like I said, DaVinci's pretty good on Linux. You know, I did a video about this the other day, and I mean, it's pretty great. I will show you all something a little inside baseball. I'm actually streaming a high-quality version to an internal RTMP server, and because I found with OBS, if I don't, it's easy to accidentally have the same bitrate for the recording. So I have a really good bitrate going to this internal server, and then FFmpeg here, as you can see in my terminal, is actually streaming that up to YouTube. It's not showing my key or anything, so I can show this. But that's right there streaming up, and I have this FFmpeg command set up in such a way that as soon as I stop streaming with OBS Studio, the output of my ATEM mini video switcher, we're good to go. It will automatically stop encoding, and then YouTube will automatically stop the stream. So a lot of automation here, everybody. That's the way it should go. But yeah, the stream's been going on for 1 hour, 27 minutes, and about 22 seconds. Don't see any other comments in the chat either, so I think it's time for me to say good night, or good morning, or whatever, depending on where you are. Thank you all so much for watching this live stream. Thanks for watching Open Source Tonight. This is Vincent signing off. See you again very soon. Goodbye, everybody.